Hi Libras, and welcome to your May 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about some of the energies coming in for your sign. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are feeling well. I've got a wonderful cup of coffee here, and I hope that you guys do too. We are going to talk about everything coming in for your sign in the month of May. I also have a video where I talked about the energy of coffee in general, so if you've been curious about whether coffee is good or bad, I'll link that video below and in the top right-hand corner. It was a fun video to make. Anyway, Libras, I hope that you are feeling all right. I think that May is gonna really absolutely completely change your game. First and foremost, like when I come into your energy, I think there's been a lot of frustrations building. I think there's been a lot of discontent feelings and stagnant solid energy as well. So maybe you feel like you've really gotten solid on who you are. Maybe you feel like you've really gotten solid on the things that you want to do. But within that, it's taken like a lot of stillness, and it's taken a lot of it's almost like you're frozen, like you really froze yourself. And maybe that has to do with the quarantines or the social distancing. That may not have been so natural, but May is asking you to make a bit of movement, I think, and it is really almost like a very flexible energy for you, actually, as you see that you have an important decision to make. You've got Two of Pentacles reversed, you've got Three of Pentacles, you've got Six of Cups, you've got Ten of Wands, Five of Pentacles. There's a lot of motion and a lot of like wrapping things up, getting certain things off of your plate, really cleaning up your direction in life is kind of your central idea for the month of May, I think. And there's a lot of people around you. It's really interesting because despite all of these restrictions we've had with socialization, there's a lot of people around you. Six of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. All of those cards are about dealing with a lot of people and having teamwork and working in tandem. So I think that the things that you have to do this month, Libra, are really going to be capitalizing on your own teamwork capability and also on your own ability to provide other people with things. So you might kind of be volunteered as a provider, or I see you really stepping into that sort of masculine air energy that your sign represents, and really becoming fearless when it comes to providing. So providing for yourself, but also providing for others, it seems, because you seem really essential, and it seems like you've given something really essential to the people around you. And have you gotten credit for that? You know, sometimes Three of Pentacles is a lot about getting credit, and Ten of Wands and Four of Swords says to me that you've not had enough rest, or you've not had quite enough respite. And sometimes with all the social distancing, it's like we get so tired of resting, or we get so tired of not having much to do. But I think that that's really going to change up through the month of May for you guys. I think the restrictions will become less strict, and you will have more time to move freely if you like. There's also an emotional evolution coming in for you this month, Libra, so it's coming at you from every different sector. That's something I get loud and clear before we talk about this emotional evolution. I get really loud and clear that you have changes coming in every sector. So relationships, finance, health, relationship to self. All of those things are going to show you a bit of a change in tide in May, especially by the time we get really into June, I think is when it's going to become most evident. But that really starts in May. So we'll have Saturn going retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Jupiter going retrograde. So things are going to be put to the test, Libra. And I think that you are ready for a test, actually. I think that you are ready to be tested. And I think that you will pass with flying colors as long as you're not too clingy to the things that you know don't suit you anymore. So heading off all of these different changes is going to be the emotional evolution. You have King of Cups in your reading, which represents really leveling up emotionally and having a very different perception of what you used to consider hurtful or difficult or hard to get through. Those things might feel really small in the month of May, and I also think that you're going to really raise up your standards, or really raise up your, it's like the way that you parse through events in your life, things that stimulate you emotionally, that's really going to change. So one definite tip for May is don't go looking for emotional reconciliation or emotional comfort in places where you found it in the past, because you guys have to find new sources for those things, and I feel that quite strongly. Anyway, Libra, let's go ahead and get into your week to week and we'll see what else is coming up for you. In the first week of May, you have the Ace of Swords rooted down by Two of Pentacles reversed. So, a great idea can lead to indecision, but you are getting a really good new idea. And I think that that's golden. You know, new territory, new possibilities, new doors opening is kind of prevalent for everybody. Ace of Swords has been coming up for a lot of people. So through this time of recession and through this time of pulling back, a lot of us have kind of understood how we need to move forward. And for you, Libra, there might be like a lot of doors open, or there might be a lot of ways forward. And it's like, how do you decide? I think that you can decide, and I think that you shouldn't worry too much about it, because the first week of May is going to really clarify, and it's really going to be like a sharp, keen, slightly distant though too. There's a keen yet distant understanding of where you want to go. So it might not be an immediate change for you there, but I do think that you have a really important decision to make. Two of Pentacles reversed does say you might have been delaying a decision, or just finding yourself unable to make a decision. So the first week of May is going to test that, and it's going to probably force you to make some kind of decision. Week number 2, Libras, you have King of Cups rooted down by Three of Pentacles. So your emotional evolution that we're talking about there is going to come as a result of the people who are around you to a degree. You know, you are the 7th house, so you have a rulership over the other, you know, the archetype of the other, the person outside of you. So for a Libra, that's where a lot of karmic pathways come about, is through people outside of you. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And it seems like you have some amount of collaboration or cooperation or like new peers, new acquaintances in your life. And that could be opening the door for a big change in perception for you, just a change in perception in general. I think that you have a change in, I don't know, also the way that you relate to men, or the way that you relate to masculine people around you. There's a big change there. And there's also a change in how you are like a project manager, or how you manage the projects of your life, or the new goals, the new aspirations. Three of Pentacles does deal with projects, goals, aspirations, building things as well. And connecting to King of Cups, it might be a new emotional infrastructure. It might be a new emotional path for yourself, but it could also be like the emotional motivation you have to do projects too. So anything around that vicinity is going to be really good for you. So yeah, great time for you guys to start a new project there, and to maybe be involved with other people while you do it. Okay, great time for you guys to find new motivation too. So finding a muse. Okay, that could be one of the biggest things for you guys in May period. Finding a muse for your artistry, or finding a muse for your, I don't know, just your paths in general. Okay, Libras, week number 3, you have 10 of Wands rooted down by 4 of Swords reversed. So yeah, you're feeling a little burned out, a little bit tired. That won't be for all of you, but I feel like Libra, I mean, honestly, probably one of the most burnout potential signs for this segment of time. I would say over like the next 3 months. Like, I feel like you guys have really brought a lot with you. Not every Libra. I feel like you've really tried to make everything work. You've really tried to make everyone happy. You've really gone at things with a very omniscient approach. And that just means that it's been really outside of you to some degree. Like, you've really had to assume the perspectives of others. You've really had to think about how others feel and what that significance is for you. And I think that that third week of May is going to really change that narrative, and it's going to maybe demand that you really take control of your own life and take control of your own surroundings to some degree, but make sure you're doing it with good posture. So not succumbing to like anger or meanness, or, you know, people who are angry or mean. 10 of Wands can sometimes be like the very like, what would I say? The sort of like ungrateful worker as well, like somebody who needs to do some kind of task or needs to get something finished, and they do it very angrily, or they are like doing it like they're doing the difficult task, but they're making it really clear that they would prefer to be doing other things. That can sometimes be the energy of 10 of Wands. And 4 of Swords reversed, rooting that down, says there's not quite enough rest either. So are you giving yourself enough rest? Are you giving yourself enough time back? And are the people around you resting too? There's something that's feeling like very constant about your energy in the month of May. It's feeling very like always talking to people, always being liable to people, always like just over and over and over again, very thematically repetitive. So the theme of like repetition is a big one for you in May. And that's why you've got to make sure that you like what you're doing, Libra. Do you like what you're doing? Because we always will feel a little bit resentful of what we have to repeat over and over again, even if we do, just love it. But if we don't just love it, it's a recipe for disaster. Okay, so I do feel that Libras may be forcing themselves to do something that's not really right anymore. And I think that Libras might be, being very Saturnine, really working with that energy of Saturn. You're really sticking to it and really being very faithful and very collaborative, but loyal to what you're doing, which is commendable. But what does the ending phase look like? Okay, what does the ending phase of this journey look like? At what point do you feel satisfied? At what point do you start to look elsewhere? Those are important questions for you, because you don't want to just be spinning your wheels indefinitely. And that's, to me, what you feel like you're having to do in the third week of May. It's kind of like the energy that I feel there, like as an entrepreneur myself. Sometimes when people are like really entrepreneurial, or they have like a lot of businesses or want to make like a lot of headway, they have to like spend a lot of capital to get it going. And then the payment that they get back from it might be exactly as much as they capitalized it with. And maybe there's a future prospect, but it's kind of been like spinning the wheels for nothing in a way too, depending on like how connected you are to the causes and things like that. But basically, Libra, I think that your life mission for the month of May is to not be spinning your wheels, and to not just be doing things that like are creating this like neutral. Okay, your energy does do that. You're Libra, you are the idea of the neutral, the scales weighing the balance. But Libras aren't always perfectly balanced. Sometimes one side of the scales will be like way up, and then it fluctuates. And sometimes you do really find that great balance too. And the key, I think, for Libra really is not to just get the equal return on what they've put in. Why put something in if you just get it back? I think that's very philosophical, and we all kind of like operate through that. It's like physics, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. But relating to other people, group projects, business endeavors, things that are really taking up a lot of your time that you aren't just loving, why do it if it's not actually giving you a return? I do think that some of you have to think about that. But if you love it and if it's fun, it's worth it at that point in time. But I just sense that Libras might really be tying themselves up with a lot of things that are just like spinning the wheels at the end of the day. So third week of May is a key time for you to really leave that behind, and to find a formula as well, because we're moving into Gemini time there. Find a formula to not just spin your wheels anymore, okay? Which is beautiful. And I'm not saying that you guys are just spinning your wheels, but I think that every Libra might be able to identify something in their lives that is reminiscent of that is just like this constant over and over again, putting it out and getting it back, and it's just like what is the purpose here, and some of you may totally know what that is, and some of you may feel like, yeah, this is my purpose with that, and that makes sense, and I love that. Or it's getting me to where I want to be, or whatever, and that's great. But I do feel that there's a small percentage of Libras who I'm really talking to directly right here, right now, that don't really know what their end game is, that don't really feel like something much bigger than them within this process of like giving out and taking back, giving out and taking back. And I just want you guys to feel like you're enjoying what you do. So third week of May, find what you love, Fourth week of May, you guys have 5 of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by 6 of Cups. So, no more cold roads. Maybe it's been a cold road for a long time with all of that, give and take going on, not really leading to much beyond the give and take. And you kind of might recognize things for what they are, I think. I think you really do recognize things for what they are in the fourth week of May. And I think that you really kind of push yourself out of this old mold, or out of this old framing. I've talked about that, I think it was in Virgo's reading too. So if you've got Virgo, it might be interesting to listen back to that. But you might kind of really be framed up, or like really have things attributed to you, or traits attributed to you, in Gemini season, okay? Or you might have like all these qualifiers or limiters or, just traits, like basically developing a reputation. And this could be a big concept or a big theme for you for a long time. So that's why you got to just get it straight and you got to understand what you want. Because what we see rooting that down is Six of Cups, which is that exact principle of give and take. I think Libras, there's something nostalgic, okay? Something sentimental or something coming from the past that is making this road so cold and making it feel so brash. I think that some of you have like house cleaning to do with the past and either letting things go or moving on. Things are purgatory, like when we get in that middle zone of like, do I want to move on or do I want to go back? Move on or go back? And I feel that represented in every single sector of your life in some way or another, okay? So May of 2020 is fixing that for you. It is giving you the formula of how to overcome that, and that is so, so beautiful. Something that's really great for you in the fourth week is you could start making more money. You could start having more things offered to you. You could start seeing that people really reach out and really are like, okay, let me help you. Let me give this to you. Let me, boost you up a little bit. And I think that that's nothing but wonderful, because it might really be able to get you to that place where it's not just, I give this and I get that back and that's that. It might really have you giving a little bit and getting a lot back. And that's a great place for you guys to get to by the end of the month. And just try to really maybe have a nice conversation with the universe and sort of lay down the line and kind of say, okay, I really want to recognize what is a cold road. What's something that's just going to be a poor journey, or something that really I'm investing too much hope into, that where there's not much there, or that people are telling me that I should do, that it's not really right. Like, I want to see that clearly for what it is, and you will see it clearly for what it is, and then you will need to act on it, okay? Anyway, Libras, there are beautiful things this month. We've talked about some of the difficulties, because we all have like a little bit of a, what would I say? There's something that is, I'm not just going to say it's tough to deal with, but we all have a path right now in front of us. It's like, whoa, what has this come to, with the things that we've had to go through. So we're all there. And I think that you guys don't have the worst end of the deal either. Like, some people are putting everything out and getting nothing back. Like, you guys are getting things back. You guys are, almost having a sense of equal exchange. But I think you can have even more than that, is basically what I'm trying to say. So Libras, if you would like to understand more about this, I'll try to touch on it in your extended reading. I'll see what you guys can do to get more. We'll find a central theme. We'll find supporting themes with the tarot cards. And I will really delve into what you could do to feel like you're just more satisfied with the things coming into your life. So those will be over on Patreon. You can sign up below in the description box, or you can click the center of your screen now to jump over to Patreon. Your likes, comments, and subscribes here on YouTube make my day, and I'm so appreciative for you guys who are contributing in that way. So anyway, let's jump over to Patreon now for your extended reading, Libra. Okay, I'll see you guys next month. Much love. Bye.